Welcome to Share Talk, the only podcast where investors come first.
Hi, this is Zach Meir with the Bulletin Board Heroes here on Share Talk for Tuesday, the 31st of March, sponsored by the UK Investor Show. Starting off with All Active Asset Capital, a stock which I think was flagged below the 50-day, below its the current position of its 50-day moving average of 0.26. I think last week or the other week. Current situation is that we've easily exceeded the target that was mooted then around 0.5 pence. Situation now as far as what the next target may be. I've looked at it in quite detail, and I don't really think I can see anything nearer than 2 pence as the next target, which is obviously rather ambitious. That is valid at least while the shares are above 0.5 pence, so old or former resistance becoming new support. Let's see how that goes. Obviously a very illiquid chart, so not much to help us there on that particular front. Next up, a stock which was looked at, I think, last week, Bluebird Merchant Ventures. It's made good progress towards the initial obvious target at the top of this broadening triangle and former 2019 resistance at 3 pence. If we get through 3 pence and stay above 2.5, which is early 2020 resistance, the best case scenario target currently is the top of a broadening triangle from the end of 2017, currently heading as high as 5.5 pence. So plenty to play for there at Bluebird, above 2.5 up to as high as 5.5. The next situation is one which I think I've looked at one time before, but this looks like Caspian is back in the picture now as a potential recovery situation. Here you can see the stock just hitting that line from the beginning of the year around the the 3.5 pence level. An end of day close or a weekly close above 3.5 pence could trigger a fresh level up to, or fresh target up to 6 pence, which is initial March resistance and just above or around the 50-day moving average at 5.6 pence. This stage only back below 2.5 pence, effectively below latest support this week, would really upset the recovery argument for that situation. Next up, a stock which is totally new to the Bulletin Board Heroes, comes in the form of Cloud Cocoa Group, breaking this falling wedge and resistance line there, 0.7 pence, just currently hitting the 50-day moving average at the moment, but at least while we're above that broken December resistance line, the target here back towards former support on the way down up to 1.15, 1.2 pence over the next few weeks. Next situation, Dev Clever, one which has been called up here from the lowest levels, I believe around 1.2 pence. That was in January. Might have been before that even, in fact, but after a bit of a wobble back down towards the 1.82 pence area, we've gapped through the 200-day moving average, heading higher within a rising trend channel from the end of October. Current upside target here towards 5.5 pence, even 6 pence, and that's certainly valid, especially if we can get a decent end-of-day close above the initial March resistance around the 3.7, 3.8 pence level, which should be achievable over the next day or two. On to another very sprightly situation coming in the form of Synergen. People gloating, I think, with the rally that we've had over the last couple of weeks. Basically, we've hit the area that we were looking for, around 70, 75 pence, which is that December resistance line projection. Those who are ambitious about the shares, they might be looking for a bit more, and that comes in the form of a potential target around 120 pence, which is an old 2015 resistance line projection. So through 75 pence on a weekly close basis, we could see a best case scenario target here as high as £1.20. Obviously, that is the best case scenario at this stage. probably 78 to 80 pence looks a fair target, given how far and how fast the shares have already pushed up in the recent past. Worth looking at two shields at the moment, just because we've got had an interesting setup here. We've got a key reversal to the upside today after temporarily making a new intraday low near 0.05 for the year. So that looks like there's been quite a sharp bear trap on the stock. Initial target here, while we're above, let's say, 0.7 pence, is up towards retesting late February, early March resistance of 0.11, 0.12 pence over the next couple of weeks. But only after that can we really say that the shares have finally taken off after their recent bear trapping activities. Verona Pharma, a stock which I have looked at in the past, but is now very much back in business as the almost all pharma stocks have reactivated themselves in a bullish way. We've broken this line of resistance from February around the 42 pence level, might be hold above that. Looking for at least a retest of the February resistance zone, post-January resistance zone around 70 pence. Weekly close above 70 could give us a best case scenario target as high as £1.10. So maybe that's something to look forward to or look out for over the course of April or May. Zoo Digital has also had a mention here before. It seems to be back on track now after making a new low for March. Bear trap below former April support from last year in the 44 pence area. Current view is that at least while we're above the 50-day moving average at 54, manage an end-of-day close above that, and a week close above that, we should be able to retest the area of the 200-day moving average at 70 pence over the next couple of weeks, and best case scenario target here up to £1.10 over the next couple of months, which is a line of resistance from August last year. Finishing off with another stock which has perhaps surprised some to the upside, although I know the stock has many fans. Here we see how Zenith Energy broke its falling wedge a couple of days ago, in fact on Friday, breaking 0.5 pence, and we've already tripled intraday on that particular target. The view at this stage is at least while we're above the 0.6 to 0.7 pence area, which was resistance to start this week, we should be able to retest the best levels of today, and that's going back to February as well. So 1.5 pence while we're above 0.7 pence or so. That's it from me today. More updates tomorrow.
Thank you for listening. Remember to visit our website for more news and other podcasts at www.share-talk.com.